Hey everyone, Marvin here, and welcome back to Buddy Up Gaming. In this 6th episode of our Golden Path walkthrough for I Was a Teenage Exocolonist, we're stepping into Saul's 5th year on Vertumna, also known as Year 14. In the last episode, we helped Saul unlock the final perception perk, which now lets them skip exploration events and focus only on the ones that matter. Saul also met Cal's pet Socks, and helped him figure out how to keep her healthy. So, what does success look like in Year 14? This year, we're finally resolving the starvation plotline. With the Valley of Vertigo opening up as a new expedition zone, Saul can gather the last bits of food needed to offset the hydroponics disaster. On top of that, Saul will take a bigger role in colony defense. For the first time, the glow attack catches the colony by surprise, and we'll need to make some tough choices to keep casualties to a minimum. Year 14 begins with a big milestone. Saul and their friends finally grow into their teenage forms. Their character models shift, and suddenly the kids we've been guiding for years now look older, more confident, and maybe a little awkward too. I love these small touches, like Saul not knowing quite what to make of Tang's bold new hairstyle, or Nem getting grossed out by her mom's discussion of menstruation. It's a reminder that even in the far future on an alien planet, the awkwardness of adolescence never changes. This stage of life also brings important gameplay changes. Friends can now give Saul upgraded versions of their cards, which makes a real difference in card challenges. Unlocking these depends on building strong relationships, so if you've been consistent about giving gifts on birthdays and keeping up with conversations, you should see several upgrades roll in by the end of the year. At the same time, certain skills hitting key thresholds unlock brand new cards as well. In my run, animals hitting 80 gave me a new card from Cal, while reaching 40 bravery unlocked one from Dis. While Saul and their friends are coming into their own, the colony itself is struggling. With the ship's hydroponic system destroyed, food supplies are stretched thin, and Saul's mom is under enormous pressure to keep everyone fed. If you stop by the administration building and check the notice board, you'll see the problem laid out in numbers as a percentage shortfall. If this isn't brought down to 0 by pollen season of Year 14, the colony begins rationing, which induces a penalty that reduces all physical stat gains by 1. Fortunately, resolving starvation isn't as daunting as it sounds, especially if you've tackled it in a previous run. The colony needs 10 food points total, and you've likely already made progress toward that goal. Saul should have earned 3 points back in Year 12 by stopping the pixie bean disaster, and another 5 points in Year 13 by completing the research xenobotany event that awarded the native hybrid card. It's also common to snag at least 1 point during earlier explorations of the outskirts. By the time you reach Year 14, you may already be sitting at 9 points, leaving just one more to go. And that last point is easily found in the Valley of Vertigo, which opens for exploration this year. If you followed this path, starvation is resolved quickly, sparing the colony from rationing and putting Saul in a much stronger position for the long road ahead. It's a moment where all the careful planning and earlier choices really pay off. Quiet season in Year 14 is all about expeditions. Now that Saul's perception is maxed out, these trips into the wilderness shift from grinding stats to focusing on story-driven events. In the first month, I had Saul return to the colony outskirts. As always, it's smart to start by seeking out stress reduction events, since these give us more breathing room to complete other encounters. During your expedition, you might hit the threshold for unlocking the second Animals perk, which gives Saul the ability to equip a third piece of gear. If that happens, be sure to tack on the Sun Medallion or engineering manuals to your 2 pets. Another major priority during these outings is triggering the mysterious stranger events that eventually lead to meeting Sim. By this point, I had only unlocked 1 of the required 3 encounters, so I needed to find 2 more. This year, the final event in the outskirts delivered, with Sim stepping in to save Saul from a deadly flower creature. In the second month, have Saul survey the plains. At the start, you'll want to talk with Utopia to unlock access to the Valley of Vertigo. The plains features one stress reduction event involving meditation. It also features a mysterious stranger event where a massive beast charges straight at Saul. If you avoid analyzing its movements, Sim will appear to pull Saul out of danger. In my run, this made for the third mysterious stranger event, which meant Saul could now officially meet Sim. If you met Sim in a prior run, go ahead and call him out, otherwise you'll need 10 perception to track him down. When you return to the colony, stop by Dis to learn that Saul isn't the only colonist to have met Sim. By the third month, Saul finally embarks on an expedition into the Valley of Vertigo. Unlike the more linear paths in the plains, the valley features multiple branches. Collectibles like Xeno eggs, yellow flowers, and blue bobber fruit are scattered throughout, making this an excellent opportunity to stock up on gifts for Saul's friends. The valley is also rich with stress reduction events. In my playthrough, 3 appeared, letting a xenofauna play with my Vriki, scoping out some strange lumps in the ground, and sampling blep leaves from a bush. If you've completed the Mysterious Stranger story arc, Sim will appear near the first fork in the valley. And if you've already met the Overseer in a prior run, Saul can ask Sim to arrange a meeting immediately, a huge step toward brokering peace with the planet's natives. Otherwise, this becomes the start of a slower process of building trust with Sim. That trust mostly grows through simple conversations each time you encounter him on expeditions, though eventually he'll ask for a human artifact to help him understand Saul's people. If your perception is high enough, there are also chances to study Sim more closely. These yield some of the strongest memory cards in the game, including one that scores a massive 9 points when played next to a blue card. On top of that, Sim can also help reduce Saul's stress if you choose the calm down option, giving a small but useful bonus. Finally, this valley is where we can tie off several key plot lines. Depending on how many food points Saul has already gathered, the valley's events may provide the last pieces needed to resolve the starvation crisis once and for all. Look especially for the event marked with an exclamation point. It awards 5 food points in one go. Some of these encounters might involve tough card challenges, so don't hesitate to skip 1 or 2. You'll usually find other opportunities. If you didn't cure the Shimmer back in year 12, this is also where Saul can grab the sample needed to complete that cure. As the year closes, the colony braces for another attack during Glow. This one is more dangerous, and if the colony is not prepared, Governor Utikit won't survive. To prevent this, Saul needs to unlock Lookout Duty, which requires first spending time training at the garrison. Once that activity is unlocked, you can return to other priorities. For me, that meant doubling down on engineering to make progress toward that second perk. When Saul had the popular status, I switched over to research xenobotany since it earns the most kudos at this stage. Our goal here is to accumulate 300 kudos, which we'll need to buy the vintage focus device, one of the strongest gear pieces in the game. When Glow finally arrives, sending Saul on lookout duty pays off. They're the first to spot the incoming threat, and their warning saves Utikit and countless others. But that doesn't make the battle any less terrifying. A hulking faceless crashes through the wall, one of the most intimidating enemies in the entire game. The scene feels like a nightmare made real. Saul rushes to help Nem and her brother Calm, leading into a brutal card challenge that will test your deck. Don't hesitate to burn through collectibles here. This is one of those moments where survival matters more than conserving resources. Even if you win the challenge, tragedy is unavoidable. Calm is hurled to his death, and Nem's grief is gut-wrenching to witness. It's a stark reminder that not every loss can be prevented, no matter how well you plan. Unfortunately, Calm's death is unavoidable. When the dust settles, the colony is left shaken, but not destroyed. Saul's early warning bought time for the defense squad to save lives, while the cost was high, the alternative would have been far worse. At this point, Saul can choose to help rebuild or mourn the fallen. Rebuilding is the more optimal choice, since it still provides skill gains. To make sure Saul doesn't waste this opportunity, manage your stress carefully. Have the hotbar equipped, and aim to keep stress below 92 going into glow. That way, Saul can start the next year on a productive note. And that wraps up year 14 in our Golden Path walkthrough. This year was a turning point. Saul helped end the starvation crisis, finally met Sim and began paving the way toward peace, and played a crucial role in protecting the colony from its deadliest glow attack yet. Even though Calm's death is unavoidable, Saul's actions saved Governor Utikit and countless other colonists. In the next episode, we'll guide Saul through year 15, where the long-awaited arrival of the Helios brings 3 new friends, Rex, Nomi, and Vase, and also some big shifts in colony life. Here on screen is the month-by-month breakdown of the actions I took. Feel free to use it as a reference for your own run. If you're enjoying this walkthrough, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment here on Buddy Up Gaming. I'd love to hear how your own Exocolonist runs are going. See you on Vertumna.